right, here we are. Welcome back.
Here we go again. Another week in ordinary time because of ordinal numbers.
Because it's just ordinary, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. This bulletin cover, I love it. All I'm going to say for AI, great stuff. But, I mean, I think this is actually very spiritually healthy, though. Because I think we have so much art of Jesus as like this perfect like surfer dude from California with like the golden hair. This knows
something happened.
Oh yeah.
Who's to say? And this like I'm not actually joking. Like Nick and I were talking about this in the kind of pre-show time about like it is entirely possible that Jesus had like a big obnoxious nose. Yeah. We don't know.
I'm a big fan of the two fingers that look like they're just like totally broken coming out of his left hand while he's together.
So I mean, just so you know, this was a real artist picture.
Oh, this
of
is
Jesus.
a real picture.
Then I went in Photoshop and I took Jesus, I got rid of the backdrop, and then I had AI generate a background.
Okay.
Of a deserted place.
So do you think that the AI stretched the nose there? Is that what happened?
I don't know,
because
it might have been
the artist.
Or is that the artist depiction of Jesus?
You'll have to look.
It's fine.
It's tough.
But
there's nothing wrong with it.
I'm a little concerned that the mountains might be like the Smoky Mountains be in the background. I'm not sure how. I mean, it's deserted in a sense, but not desert.
I mean, Jesus did hang out with angels, so it's entirely possible they were like, you know what, we're going to care for you and take you to the Ozarks.
But they did a pretty good job, yes.
I would agree.
This is when Jesus came to the Americas.
Exactly. You never know.
You never know. So, but yeah, the cover is kind of a hybrid, Mod Podge, you know.
Absolutely.
Something different. It's unique.
Speaking of something different, we just added something that we'll be having in the bulletin over the next few weeks.
For as long as we have them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
So they're as long as we keep getting them from the diocese, we like them, we'll put them in. It's called a stewardship moment, and you sent it to me and said you'd done this in the past.
Yeah.
So maybe explain it a little bit.
We're supposed to cite. I forgot to tell you that we're supposed to cite actually where they're from. They're from a national organization that promotes stewardship within Catholic agencies. So again, we're like a stewardship parish, right? We give of our time, talent, and treasure. We try to use our resources wisely and take care of these things. And this is just a little thing to reflect upon based on the readings of the weekend. And it was perfect because the first one we put in here is like, but the Gospels also reveals Jesus, after praying. So it's just kind of an amazing way to remind us that, everything we do is kind of like revealing Jesus, and it pops up in kind of the most unique places. So
absolutely. We have a couple of baptisms. Excuse me.
Right. Yeah.
Baptisms. Baptisms.
Come
out of him.
Quiet.
Okay.
They're somehow related, or the godparents are related. I forget now.
Yeah, they might be
they
cousins,
are connected
I think, or
somehow.
something in some way. But we're excited to have them in the church through the sacrament. It's a good thing.
There's another couple baptisms coming up.
Yeah,
so this is great.
I think next weekend we have one or two.
Praise God.
Yeah.
So lots of baptisms.
Yeah.
Speaking of baptisms and the family, so this week from the Magnificat, so we're citing things, I put the Magnificat is a cool publication that just kind of goes through the liturgy, but on the bottom of the page on this weekend's one that Sarah showed me, there is like this cool reflection that you're supposed to do with your family. Like it's not a thing where you sit down and sort of share. So I left some space in the bulletin to write. So I encourage you, if you have kids, sit down maybe at the dinner table or, maybe right after Mass, go home, have a seat, and just kind of do this exercise because we're all about revealing Jesus. And I think that we sometimes forget that revealing Jesus just means we're revealing the good news of what Jesus has done. Not to make a shameless plug for myself. But when I did the walk around the church this past weekend, the social media thing that I do, did we get the thumbs up? So walk around the church.
I don't.
No, it was one of our parishioners came in and asked me. I said, "Hey, do you have something you want to talk about?" And she said, "Yeah, I have a question." I said, "What is it?" And she goes, "How do you get rid of guilt?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." In a 90-second video, let's do this. So I did, and you can go check that out. But the thing that's interesting though is that's to expound on it because someone asked me like, okay, you did a good job in the video, but like more. So there will be more on that. But the short answer is it's just the good news. Like Jesus takes your guilt. No, he takes your guilt. And like, of course the Holy Spirit can convict us a little bit to make us, want to be better, but your guilt is taken from you in the sacrament of reconciliation when you repent of your sins. So if you're feeling guilty all the time, like,
check yourself.
Hear the news,
Yeah.
man. The good news. Jesus loves you. So anyway, that was on my heart.
But like,
that's all I got.
Check yourself, because I mean, guilt in a healthy level is what what spurs us to
Conviction. Yeah,
you
you're
know,
convicted by it.
go to confession or
Absolutely.
make amends with that person or that situation, and then but again, so often we talk about Brene Brown, her work on shame and guilt, and this, it's because we're not being vulnerable. So if you can't be vulnerable, a person you can't be vulnerable to is Jesus, who is vulnerable to the whole world. That's why his wounds, the word vulnerable comes from the Latin word for wounds. That's why his wounds are exposed.
I did not know that. That is so cool.
Is the definition of vulnerability.
That's amazing.
Because even when Thomas, right?
Okay.
He's like, look at my hands and feet. Like, see my wounds, Thomas. And Thomas finally realized what vulnerability is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that to be like, wow, cool. Like, I really didn't know that. That's really cool.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've only been talking about Brene Brown for 2 years with you, but
Well, you have. Yeah, you have.
But I'm glad
I just
finally
know
it's
the
sunk
vulnerability.
in.
That's so neat.
Yeah. Well, wow.
So
More to
to be
come.
vulnerable, we're not necessarily vulnerable, but available. On Sundays, after all the masses at the welcome desk, you can find us there. Got a couple of things coming up. This upcoming Monday, we'll have the 12. It's our men's ministry, 18 to forever on up. Come and pray. It's going to be fantastic. And then Wednesday, of course, we have our crazy day, as every Wednesday seems to be. And then the office is closed on Friday, as it is every week. So
let's talk about Uno's tip of the week.
Yes.
It's our newest feature in the Church Bulletin podcast. Uno, the sheep, is not available to come here in person yet.
I can't do a good sheep. I was going to try just now, and you're like, I was going to try and do it. I can't do it very well.
Yeah.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you do a sheep? I don't know.
That's all I got.
That's what bah humbug. That's Christmas, baby.
Uno's
That's
very,
the tired sheep.
very well trained. Uno speaks
Bah,
English
I
and
don't know.
Spanish.
Yeah.
So Uno's tip of the week, isn't really a tip, but Uno's just saying, excuse me, we're all yawning today.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who participated in Flock Note Sunday last weekend. If you missed it, that's okay. You can sign up today. Apparently Uno writes in
Yes. Rah, rah.
very exciting rhyming schemes
Yep,
here.
with lots of exclamation points. He's a very excited
Him
sheep.
and Dr. Seuss must be friends.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Red sheep, one sheep, two sheep, red sheep, blue sheep. Yeah.
Well, it's actually kind of an accident, if we're going to be real, if we're going to give them a look behind the curtain. I had written that, just like there was more to this page,
Yeah.
and then we were going to do this, tip of the week. So I didn't know that. I said Jesse, we'll just have it. It can be in there like a little bit, and it just turned into being that's what it was.
Okay.
And I was like that. So it was an accident.
Well,
honestly.
Uno's tip of the week, and Uno's there with his little heart. He's just so thankful
I
for
think the
everybody
tip of the
signing
week.
up.
I think the tip of the week actually might be this: sign up for Lent U groups.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's the tip.
Oh,
This was just a note from us saying thank you, but also from Uno. But yeah,
Orange.
so sign
Orange,
up.
you glad you
sign-
read that?
Oh,
I get it. I maybe.
Yep, I think that's it. Sign up for Lent U groups. So,
When the bulletin's not obvious, just listen to the Church Bulletin podcast.
absolutely. watch us figure out what we mean when we write things. But in all seriousness, thank you. We have been slowly unveiling Flock Note for a year. And lots of people had already joined it, but the response has been fantastic.
Awesome.
Everyone is getting on board.
Yeah.
And ironically, we got an announcement from Ministry Platform, our other system that we use.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, someday in the future, we're going to be able to send text messages. So who knows? Give them another couple years
Another
and they'll be
couple.
caught up.
How many people, Nick, do you think you talked to after masses?
Last Sunday?
14?
I would say about a dozen. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say about a
same
dozen.
same here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wanted to know, how do I do this on my computer at home?
Yeah.
Sure.
And so you can do it either way. We're not like forcing you to use your phone or whatever, but that was a thing.
Well, and once you sign up, you can sit back
You're
and
good.
it's on autopilot.
Absolutely.
We send out the text, we send out the emails, and we can
Yes.
communicate with you one way or both ways. So
Absolutely.
it's just fantastic. So, but again,
So-
you can sign up for other groups. You can, and again, even if you get the text, or an email from us, you can just reply to that and it goes to our main system.
Yep.
So it's real easy to tell us, let us know about something or whatever. So
So please sign up for Lent U groups as we turn the page and you literally find
Hey,
all
a
of the Lent U
list of
groups.
Lent U groups.
So
Look at
Lent
that.
U, of course, we started last year. It was like just kind of a new idea. And we wanted to do something special for Lent and not just like the usual devotions, which are fine. But we
Nothing
wanted to
wrong
make
with those.
sure that we, it's the whole idea like Matthew Kelly, I think, was the one who's like, don't give up chocolate for Lent. Right? I mean, everybody does that.
Pope
Right.
Francis has imitated that throughout the years of
Do you
his
think
papacy.
Did Matt Kelly or Pope Francis say it first?
I don't know who said it first,
Oh,
but one of my
touche. That's a
favorite.
good
It's you can just Google it. Pope. I usually put it in, but there wasn't room.
I think
Maybe
it was
right
Pope
before.
Pius the 12th.
Maybe there was but it's Pope
I was thinking
Francis
Pope
is
Paul
like.
VI,
No,
so-
Paul the Sixth, maybe, yeah.
Well, Pope Francis is
John the
like
22nd.
don't like. I don't know. Start naming popes. You know.
Yeah.
Whichever one conquered
Absolutely.
the cocoa bean.
It's like I think there was one. There's like a meme. There's a meme on the internet that I've seen that's just like, it's just like, you think you know Catholicism? I do. Name 23 popes. You'd be like John. Like it's
Linus, Cletus, Clement, Sixtus,
exactly.
Aurelius,
Yeah. Exactly. But with all that said,
There's some amazing,
really cool stuff.
Yeah.
These are great here. I don't know, what is this random 3 floating around the bottom here? I think that's just a loose 3.
Don't forget
from-
about the Trinity.
With the
I don't
22,
know.
32
Maybe
men.
it
Did it
anyway,
count?
I don't know.
I don't know. 3.
So-
God is 3. in one.
There's a 3.
There's a Trinity
If
Trinity
you can find
shout out.
all the missing numbers.
I don't know what
throughout
that
the
is.
bulletin. But anyway,
Yeah, I
there's
don't know.
It's
there's
the
a
secret
Bible
code.
study of the Book of Job
Mhm.
with Victoria and Barb. We have our Saturday morning Bible study with Roy. Kim, he's a great guy. He's kind of part-time. He's mostly personal here, but he still kind of works in Pittsburgh. So he's coming up and he's going to be doing that. And it's going to be great.
And also for the Job one as well. This morning, Barb actually at the at our
the
morning
first
Bible study,
reading.
she
Yeah.
gave. I kind of walked in on it because I was working on something else we have going on, and just kind of hearing the tail end of her little reflection on this little snippet from Job was beautiful. So I'm excited for her to lead it. I think it's going to be cool.
Oh my goodness. I just keep yawning today.
So the Jude Coffee House. That's
So we have that.
all that stuff.
So we might start editing out, there's a couple things, but there's some amazing things just kind of happening. We have the men's conference during Lent this year.
Mhm.
A big one I know that
what
like
else?
Sarah is excited about is
Our Rise Against
the
Hunger.
Rise
one?
Against Hunger and Poverty Simulation. So Sarah has another job, and one of the things she does for that job is she runs poverty simulations to help people sort of learn about, people who are struggling in poverty, I guess, So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one. I definitely do not always appreciate, what I have.
So the
I'm
only thing
excited.
that we got to remind kind of people is like it's sort of a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you sign up with Flocknote, and that's good. And if you're having trouble with that, email or contact the person that it's like saying, like Jesse or Sarah or somebody. But actually, all these are on Flocknote.
Yep.
And you just like say you're coming to, but once you say you're coming to it on Flocknote, just actually come to it.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
that's
Like-
you RSVPing. Like
Right.
once you join the group, we're assuming you'll be there.
Yep.
And I'm
that's
gonna
your
have to
ticket to show up.
I'm gonna have to complain because RSVP should be capitalized because it's a French, acrostic. So
Oof. Sorry.
it's all right. I mean, this is whatever.
But if you do, and the other thing too,
But-
though, I guess, and also
What else?
disclaimer to that is, if you sign up for a group just to get more information about it, just let us know that, or call and ask a question.
yeah, we're happy to help.
Either way, we're always happy to talk to you about it.
Anything else from you, Nick, from that?
No. Check out the list.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Check out the list.
There we go. Some of it's, a one-time thing. Some of it might be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
The Lenten booklets, I guess we'll probably put those out, maybe even this week or at Ash Wednesday. So there's some little prayer booklets we put out, social media, and then we have some cool stationy things happening in the church too. So
Mm-hmm.
that is fun.
Repeat
Catholics-
page here.
No, it isn't. It says part 2.
I was just about to
did
say,
we put it in there?
Yes.
I guess I should read the bulletin.
you need to read the bulletin.
The story continues.
I just watched the podcast. Okay,
It is
that's all I do.
part 2. And just by the way, that font where I write part 2 and stay tuned is the official CSA font. I just figured out what it was and downloaded it.
Oh, the reason my
Nice.
bulletin is bowed because these are our
Oh.
crib, so I didn't see it. That's
so
and my mic's in the way, so that's
Yeah.
why.
Oh, yeah.
It is similar. I apologize.
No,
It is
I'm
similar.
just teasing.
But we have kind of the under the Your Support Our Mission it's the verbiage, that the diocese recommends that we kind of put out, just kind of tweak a little bit. The CSA reminds us that we are all part of the same Catholic family and that the work of the diocese is the work of the church. So really nice just way for us to connect there. But then also I wanted to introduce that this year that Mike and Tina Donikowski, they are chairing the committee to develop a plan to bring St. Jude Parish into the next generation. So basically people are saying, well, what are we doing for our project? Well, we wanted to do the courtyard, to kind of refurbish the courtyard. We'd cut down the trees. We were working on kind of some things that run through those areas with the conduit and the gravel. And anyway, we were making a list of everything that's wrong. Structurally, we need new concrete, maybe heated concrete if we're going to pull the concrete. We need to repoint. We have some roofing issues. We have insect damage. Then we have all the issues with mud and grass and dirt on the inside. The fountain needs help. Anyway, the list is getting longer and longer. So we might be able to do that. But at the same time, we're going to be putting together the strategic planning to, like I said, take St. Jude into the next generation. So unfortunately, we just have a bunch of little things we need to just put some Band-Aids on, some things we know about, some things we don't know about. So that's what CSA is this year. CSA's plan our plan for CSA is to make a plan. That's the plan. Yeah. Because we need a solid plan. We can't just keep throwing a few bucks here and there, or like 10, we do about 100,000 in CSA. That's not enough to maybe do the projects we need to do.
Yes.
So let's make a 10-year plan, prioritize. We've got boilers that are going to be needed to replace soon. The school still needs $600,000 worth of roofing. Parking lots don't last forever. It's still pretty fresh. Same with the roof. There's a list of things that are okay for now.
Yeah.
But if we're talking 10 years, maybe even then we can list things that are due in 20 and 30.
Right.
Yep. Well, and I think it's also I think it's a good year to do that as well, for the simple reason, even with like the pastoral planning. I mean, we're praying for that, and change is coming in the city of Erie and across the diocese. And so I think it's a perfect year to be like, especially as we all move forward in this, to have a parish, to be a part of a parish. I'm excited to be talking about 10 years from now. Here's what we want to do. So it's a very exciting time to be here at St. Jude. But even for that, just like it gives some people, I think, a little hope, to hear about that. So
it's going to be great. Yeah. So we're just going to, like you said, continue to pray for the pastoral plan.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that way, whatever our parish looks like in the spring, then our new parish configuration can help direct and guide the direction we want to go.
Absolutely.
I might be like the captain of the ship, but like the parish, we need everybody to, help direct it in the ways that they want to see it go.
Absolutely.
So
ahoy.
Ahoy, baby.
Yeah.
So, but again, CSA Plus on the bottom, there's some information about that. Something we're launching, kind of a new way of thinking about the CSA. If you've never given to the CSA before because it sounded daunting or you thought it's only for the rich, anybody who gives like $100 or more, pledges that or donates that in the CSA can be part of the CSA Plus. And we're going to have some special events, and we're going to do some extra things with communication wise and whatnot. And then also, if you have been an annual giver, we really appreciate that. There's many of you. I've spoken to some people before I launched this, and they said 10% is a very easy, jump if they haven't raised it themselves over the years. If you're used to giving $5,000, 10% is only another 500.
Oh, okay.
So it's not. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. But if you're used to giving 1,000, it's another 100.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just and every new donor, every new dollar stays in the parish. So it's a very powerful opportunity for us to kind of get ahead on some of this financial stuff that we
need.
And
to begin to prepare for the things that the parish will need, in the coming months, let alone coming years, so.
Yeah, because our money goes right to ministry. You guys know that you see, how we help the youth and the homeless and all these crazy things that just kind of get thrown upon us. We take care of a lot of people. So.
Yep.
So thanks for your support. So what else we got going on here? It's time for the Supper Bowl, big game family potluck chili party.
You messed up your long.
Yeah,
you messed it
well,
up. You
blame it on the microphone.
You dropped the ball. Fumble. No. The Supper Bowl family chili big game potluck party. I was like, when I thought Jesse was kidding when he showed. He's like, here it is, and I was like, that's a really long title.
It is because we're not allowed to say Super Bowl.
Yes.
So
you said it. That's why people always say the big game.
That's why it's the big game.
Big game.
We're having supper, so we're having a Supper Bowl.
Yes, the Supper Bowl.
And this, by all definition, is the kickoff to Lent U.
Oh,
so
look at you.
Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah,
that's all I got. That's all I got.
Throw that touchdown. There you go.
Extra point. 100%.
Very well done. Very well done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
giving statements.
False
Last
start.
year was rough, but this year has been good. And I just gonna shout out to
'cause last
Nick
year-
for all the work you did. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, for handwriting them on the manila paper. No, last year I wanted to give everybody one, so I'm like, this will be great. We'll just do a mail merge. I don't know where it pulled the stuff from, but it was not right. It was like everything was wrong.
Yeah.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
It was like days of sorting through paper.
It was bad.
Yeah. But
So-
this year is very simple, and
Ask for one,
Yep.
and we will print it or email.
ask and you shall receive.
Yes.
Indeed.
Seek and you will find.
Indeed.
And again, talk to your financial
And the door will be
advisor, tax preparer, whoever you talk to about this stuff, your H&R Block AI, because I don't know. It's you may or may not need it. And I think someone asked about the Corvette stuff. So when you do the Corvette, your email is your receipt. We do not then transfer all that information into anything else. So your email is your receipt or your check or whatever you used.
If
If that's legal.
If you're watching this before the 4th or on the 4th, and you have a desire for a great Catholic education, school that is getting better every year as it continues. Every hour. The St. Jude School is having its open house. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here.
And we would love to have you here so that we can add more classrooms.
Yeah, it'd be great. So
we can just keep expanding.
Yeah, we just had the school and the church doing adoration for the first time, so that was pretty cool.
That was
Kids were
sweet.
great.
Absolutely,
good job.
it was cool.
They did do a great job, actually.
They were I was a little bit nervous because sometimes they don't always sing during mass if they don't know the song, but like they didn't know most of the songs because I was doing more charismatic stuff, and they were full. I was like getting tearful. I was like, this is so beautiful. So I was very excited.
They were very happy.
But yeah, so that's there.
On the back page, the only thing I want to really, really, really like underline, highlight, circle is that we have moved the Ash Wednesday evening liturgy from 5 to 5:30. So there is mass at 5:30.
Not 5.
Not 5.
Yeah.
5:30.
Now, is the 12:15 the same? I thought there was a change in there, too. Wasn't it always 12 or something?
I
We
don't-
bumped it to 12:15
Yeah,
for those
maybe.
traveling or something like that?
Yeah, there was like this. I don't. Again,
Anyway.
you can't please everyone.
Mhm.
We're only here to please our listeners who financially support us.
Absolutely.
Specifically those 3 people. So,
I was going to say 1, so praise God there's
There's
3.
3.
Wow.
That's what the 3 is.
Yeah, the 3.
see?
Yeah.
Snuck
The
that in
secret
there.
3. But I don't know.
Absolutely,
I mean, if
yeah.
you need ashes any other time of the day, pop in. I'm going to have Tim and Nick do a little recon and find out, there's probably 100 masses in Erie.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to have them put together a little cheat
We should
sheet
just
for
do a
next
cheat
week
sheet.
of
That would be
like
fun.
where they all are.
You
I'm
can
just
go.
curious now, so I was like, that's a fun project this
I
week.
mean, to be clear, we would love to see you. That would be great. We like seeing our people.
Also, you
but
just pop in and get
there
ashes.
there are a lot of Ash Wednesday everything.
And Father, I think you said a couple of weeks ago at staff in deciding what the service and changing that evening mass time would be, is that you made the comment that the ashes are not like a requirement, more of a sacramental.
Right.
It's a symbol of.
It's not a holy day of obligation.
Right.
I know we all want to start Lent off, in a positive way, but it's a lot like how New Year's resolutions happen. We all go to Ash Wednesday like, I'm going to pray, fast, and give alms. I'm going to give up all these things. I'm going to pray 13 rosaries a day. I'm only going to eat non-red meat. That's what I give. I give up red meat for Lent. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit smoking, whatever it is that people say. So you're all gung-ho on Ash Wednesday, and then by the time you're done, you're like, okay, that was...
By Friday.
By the
first Friday.
time the ashes are gone, you're like, oh, I ate a hamburger.
So basically what you're saying is go get your ashes and then come to celebrate recovery.
Right.
Because that'll be available too.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Absolutely. For your
Ash
hurts, habits, and hang out.
Wednesday.
Absolutely. A quick little PSA about Catholic Heart Work Camp. So like half the spots right now are more or less filled.
And half are not.
Half are not filled,
Correct.
which is what that means, and that's what I want to
Correct.
say. So several of you, and I'm not trying to like put anybody on blast or call anybody out, but several of you have expressed interest in going.
You know
But
who
it's
you
time to commit. So
Yes.
if you want us to go to this,
Yeah.
we don't have to. Like it doesn't have to happen. But if you're interested and you want to be a part of this mission trip, you have to actually sign up.
And so we actually have our first fundraiser has now begun. It is Easter candy sale. So forms will be here Sunday.
Yep.
That will go until February 13th. And then the big event that has always been, at least for primarily the east side, it's a bingo at St. James Place, and that will be March 2nd.
Yep.
We'll have more information in the bulletin as we get closer, but just kind of put that on the radar because that will help fund the
So for
entire
those of you
trip.
who I just called out, I'll be calling you
The
shortly.
eighth sacrament.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Right?
Yeah.
Celebrated
Bingo
at St.
basket
James.
rebel.
It is so good. But yeah, so this is great. I mean, obviously, even adults can go too, or if they're like chaperones or something, like if they're families or something, or
Yes.
how does
Yeah.
that work? Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, a
Like
lot of
parents
parents
sometimes
will
go-
if their child is
Yeah.
going, just to have that experience, and it's truly beautiful. It's sweet for a third party, if you will, to step back and watch Christ just begin to really bring them together more than they thought that could ever happen, and also for the in my case the adult parent to make friends with other chaperones and parents that are there at the site, serving with them all week and not necessarily their child as well, is super, super cool. So,
Catholic Heart Work Camp would love to come to Erie. We talked to them when we were at NCYC, and they were like,
they'd love
so
to be in every state.
they would,
in-
but they actually, I was at their table at
country.
NCYC in Indianapolis, and I said it'd be great. They were like, would you ever host it?
Mhm.
And I was like, I mean, it would be cool to do.
Yeah.
And they were like, so how about this summer? I was like, no, we're not. No, we're not ready
the
yet.
founder Steve would be more than willing. to
Oh,
come and
absolutely.
Nice.
So
set us
we
up,
would
so.
love it if some people would get involved so that we
Mhm.
could grow this community, so that we could, because it does have a massive impact on the community that hosts it.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough of that.
All right.
I think that's everything.
That's this week's church bulletin.
It was a good one.
It was.
I
good.
enjoyed it.
Sweet.
All right, well, be sure to follow and subscribe and all of those good things. And again, as
Tell your
always, tell your friends. As
Tell
always,
your
if you need
friends about
anything,
me.
you can find us. But again, if you want information on stuff, feel free to sign up on Flocknote.
Check out our website.
Yeah.
Follow
Oh, we got our new mobile websites. Did we mention that real quick?
stjude.church/mobile
Yeah, it's really nice.
is kind of an instant one-stop shop for everything you need on your mobile device.
Cool. All right. We're praying for you.
So on and so
Peace.
forth. Peace indeed.